Dear friends, Terbuon Hamand. I'm Dr. David. I'm in my 60s now, and after more than 30 years working in senior health, there's one thing I believe more than ever. Muscle is the language the body uses to speak to us about youth. Many people think aging begins when the hair turns gray or the eyes grow dim. But in truth, it begins the moment your legs weaken, when standing up takes longer, stairs feel steeper, or that first step in the morning feels heavier. I once had a patient, Robert, 68 years old, who told me something I'll never forget. "Doctor, I'm still me, but it feels like my body no longer listens to me." That sentence stayed with me for years. Because it's true, aging doesn't steal our will. It steals the connection between our will and our body. And the bridge that connects them is our muscles. We often see muscles as a matter of fitness, something for young people at the gym. But in medicine, muscles are the largest energy exchange organ in the body. They control blood sugar, help the heart beat steadily, keep the bones strong, and even influence memory. Have you ever noticed those who maintain strong muscles often walk faster, think sharper, and yes, smile more? It's not a coincidence. When muscles move, the brain releases endorphins, the happiness hormone, and the heart pumps stronger, carrying oxygen to every cell. Muscles are in truth the youth living inside you, whether you're 50, 60, or 70. Now imagine this: a man 55 years old, healthy, active, eating well. And yet just 10 years later, he's lost nearly 20% of his muscle mass without realizing it. At first, he just feels a little tired climbing stairs, then needs to push himself up from a chair, and one day, he falls not from weakness, but from losing balance. That's what medicine calls sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. It happens quietly, but it steals our freedom one step at a time. You can't run and play with your grandkids. You can't stand and cook as long as before. And worse, you start to fear falling, to fear the simplest things in life. At that point, you don't just lose muscle, you lose a piece of your confidence. Someone once asked me, "Doctor, I eat well. Why am I still getting weaker?" And the answer doesn't lie in how much you eat, but in how well your body processes what you eat. As we age, anabolic hormones drop, digestion weakens, and muscle cells stop hearing recovery signals. It's like sending an email, but the server no longer responds. On top of that, too much sitting, too little movement, and poor sleep slowly rob the muscles of their power to repair themselves. I call it the silent death of muscle. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't bleed, but it takes away your strength day by day. Here's the miracle science has discovered. Muscle has biological memory. Even after years of loss, once you activate it correctly, it can rebuild faster than a young body starting fresh. I remember Mrs. Margaret, 72, who suffered severe muscle loss after surgery. She had to use a walker for months. But instead of giving up, she began light stretching every morning, just 10 minutes, ate more protein, and went to bed early. 3 months later, she came to my clinic smiling like a child. "Doctor, I can walk with my granddaughter again." I looked at her and said, "Your muscles just remembered how strong they used to be. Please understand this deeply. Aging is not a sentence, it's an invitation. An invitation to care for your body again, to remember that strength doesn't come from age, but from how you live each day." Look at your legs. They're not just tools for walking. They're witnesses to a lifetime. They've carried you through roads, challenges, and memories, and they deserve love, care, and renewal. So whether you're 50, 60, or beyond, believe that you can still be strong, agile, and full of energy. Modern science has shown that with small adjustments in diet, sleep, movement, and a positive mindset, muscles can recover rapidly and your body can truly grow young from within. My dear friends, if there's one thing I've learned after thousands of patients, it's this: it's never too late to rebuild your body. In the next parts, I'll share 5 scientific, practical, and simple solutions to help you maintain and rebuild muscle after 50. Because I truly believe every one of us deserves to live strong, flexible, and free at any age. Dear friends, if in the previous part we said that muscle is the language of youth, then in this part I want to explore with you why that language slowly goes silent over the years. Why do legs that once walked fast and arms that once lifted strong now tremble when holding a small bag? You see, inside each muscle cell lives a power plant called mitochondria. When you're young, these power plants work non-stop, fueling every step, every breath, every firm handshake. But after 50, those power plants begin to shut down one by one. Each year, your body's energy production drops by 1 to 2%, and by age 70, it may fall by 30, 40%. Imagine running a city where the power stations start turning off one after another. The lights dim, the streets darken, and everything slows down. Our body works the same way. Without enough energy, muscles lose their ability to recover. You exercise but still wake up sore the next morning. You eat protein, but your body becomes lazy at building new muscle. That's when you begin to hear the whispers of aging in every movement. I once met Susan, 65, a retired teacher. She told me, "Doctor, when I was still teaching, I could walk all day. Now even going to the garden makes me tired." Her muscle cell function had dropped nearly 40%, though she had no major illness. Simply put, her body had stopped producing energy efficiently. The good news is this process can be reactivated. Science calls it mitochondrial rejuvenation, the revival of mitochondria. But we'll talk about that later when we discuss the 5 solutions. Muscles aren't just fibers, they're part of a sophisticated neural network that connects the brain to every small muscle strand. Every time you move, your brain sends an electrical signal through the nerves to the muscles saying, "contract, balance." But after 60, those nerves begin to degenerate, partly due to vitamin B12 deficiency, partly due to loss of the myelin sheath. As a result, the electric signals sent by the brain fail to reach their destination. I remember Robert, 70, a retired electrical engineer, who told me one day, "Doctor, my legs feel like they've lost power. I want to walk, but they don't respond." His nerve conduction test showed nearly a 50% drop in transmission. I smiled and said, "Robert, your muscles aren't broken. The wires between your brain and muscles are just frayed." Our body truly works like a biological electrical system. When the wires weaken, even if the muscle is still there, the message doesn't get through. That's why we lose balance, fall, cramp, or move slower without understanding why. Another silent cause of muscle loss is poor blood supply. Tiny blood vessels, capillaries, deliver oxygen and nutrients to every muscle fiber. When we move less or eat poorly, these capillaries narrow. Muscles become hungry for oxygen and thirsty for nutrients. A muscle starved of blood is like dry soil. No matter how much fertilizer you add, nothing will grow. One of my patients, George, 74, a retired police officer, complained of pins and needles pain in his calves every night. A vascular ultrasound showed reduced circulation. His muscles had thinned like narrow strings. When blood flow decreases, muscle cells die in clusters, replaced by fat or fibrous tissue, like swapping steel for cotton. That's why someone may look big, but inside they lack real muscle, a condition called sarcopenic obesity, overweight but weak. It's why some people appear strong but break a bone from a small fall or struggle to stand after sitting. Many people tell me, "Doctor, I eat meat, fish, eggs every day. Why am I still weak?" The answer is that aging changes how the body absorbs and uses nutrients. When you're young, your stomach produces plenty of hydrochloric acid to break protein into amino acids, the bricks of muscle. But after 50, that acid declines sharply, leaving proteins only half digested. You eat 100 grams of meat, but your body absorbs only half. The small intestine also becomes lazy. The very tiny structures that absorb nutrients wear down over time. Fat-soluble vitamins like D3, K2A, and E become harder to absorb, especially if you eat too little healthy fat. Your body is like a factory. You may bring in raw materials, but if the assembly line is broken, no product is made. Our endocrine system is like a symphony orchestra. When we're young, every instrument plays in harmony: testosterone, estrogen growth, hormone, insulin, all in rhythm. But as we age, the musicians slowly leave the stage. The body loses the synchronized signals that build and maintain muscle. Men lose an average of 1% testosterone every year after 40. Women after menopause lose up to 80% of estrogen, a hormone vital for muscle, bone, and collagen maintenance. When the biological symphony quiets down, the body shifts energy towards storing fat instead of building muscle. The belly grows, arms soften, and fatigue lingers. I often joke with my patients, "You didn't gain weight because you ate more. It's because your body forgot how to use energy." It sounds funny, but it's pure science. When anabolic hormones drop, the body loses its ability to burn clean energy. Instead of building muscle, it stores energy as fat. Few people know this. Muscles aren't built in the gym, they're built while you sleep. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone GH, which rebuilds muscle cells, restores blood vessels, and recharges energy. When you sleep less or sleep poorly, your body doesn't have time to repair micro damage in muscle tissue. Every sleepless night, you owe your body a little muscle. A Mayo Clinic study found that people sleeping under 6 hours per night lose 20% more muscle mass than those who sleep 7-8 hours. And fatigue the next day makes you move even less, creating a vicious cycle of weakness. Many older adults also take cholesterol-lowering drugs, diuretics, or long-term steroids. Though necessary, these medications quietly affect muscles. Statins reduce coenzyme Q10, vital for muscle energy. Diuretics deplete potassium and magnesium, causing cramps and weakness. Corticoids use long-term breakdown muscle fibers. One patient, Helen, 69, had chronic arthritis and took corticoids for years. She told me my joints don't hurt anymore, but I can't even open a water bottle. And she was right, the medicine had taken her strength silently. Muscle is the only tissue that lives only when used. If you don't use it, it disappears faster than you think. Just 1 week of bed rest can cause up to 5% loss of leg muscle. A month of inactivity can reduce strength by 20%. Your body assumes you don't need the muscle anymore, so it starts breaking it down to save energy. Remember, muscle is intelligent. It watches your behavior. If you stand, walk, and lift daily, it says, my owner needs me. But if you sit all day, it says, maybe I'm no longer necessary. I always tell my patients, you don't need to run marathons, just don't sit still for too long. Stand up every 30 minutes, raise your arms, stretch your neck, take a few steps. Those small movements over time save your entire muscular system. After 50, the body often faces low-grade chronic inflammation called inflammaging. It doesn't cause fever or pain, but it quietly damages muscle cells. Each small wave of inflammation destroys a bit of muscle, replaced by fibrous tissue. The common causes are too much sugar, fried oils, and processed red meat, lack of omega-3s, summary, stress, and poor sleep. This hidden inflammation is like wind-eroding stone. You don't notice it daily, but after 10 years, the rock is no longer the same. Modern science now shows that the mind directly affects the muscles. When you're sad, anxious, or lonely, the brain releases more cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol reduces protein synthesis, slowly eating away your muscles. A Japanese study found that older adults living alone with less social interaction lose muscle 30% faster than those with positive relationships. Muscle weakens not only from the body but also from the soul. Dear friends, I know after hearing all this, you might feel discouraged because it seems there are too many reasons the body weakens. But please listen carefully. Every cause has a solution, and every muscle cell in your body is still waiting to be awakened. I've seen patients who could barely stand walk again after just 3 months of right nutrition and exercise. I've seen people in their 70s stay strong, sharp, and vibrant like they were 40. The difference isn't genetics, it's understanding their bodies and taking action. In the next part, I'll share 5 scientific and practical ways to help you maintain and rebuild muscle after 50. Methods I've used with hundreds of patients throughout my 30-year career and on myself. Because aging may make us older, but how we care for our body can make us younger every day. Dear friends, when we talk about aging, most people think of gray hair, wrinkles, or slowing down. But to me, the true sign of aging is not in appearance, it's the moment you no longer want to stand up. Maybe you don't want to go outside for a walk. Maybe you skip your morning stretch. Maybe you don't feel like cooking anymore. And slowly you lose the most precious connection between you and life, the body in motion. But I want you to remember this. Muscle is the most regenerative tissue in your body. Whether you're 50, 60, or 70, it can still rebuild. Today I'll share 5 solutions I've applied for hundreds of patients. People who once felt weak and tired, yet within months regained their strength and confidence in their own bodies. Solution 1, eat right, nourish muscle from within. When I was young, I believed exercise was enough. But after decades of practice, I realized muscles aren't built in the gym, they're built at the table. Muscle is made of protein, collagen, and minerals like magnesium, calcium, and zinc. Without raw materials, your body cannot rebuild muscle no matter how much you train. I often tell my patients, each meal should contain at least 25-30 grams of high-quality protein. Son, don't just think of meat, think of variety fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, fermented soy, oats, chia seeds. Protein is the cement of muscle, but vitamins and minerals are the builders. Without vitamin D3, K2, or B12, the body cannot efficiently synthesize muscle. One of my patients, Linda, 67, ate very little because she feared gaining weight. Her body weakened and she lost balance easily. I told her, Linda, your body doesn't fear food, it fears deficiency. We adjusted her diet, adding salmon, eggs, leafy greens, and a handful of walnuts. After 3 months, she said, Doctor, I feel strength returning to my legs. So if you want strong muscles, feed them with kindness, not restriction. Eat to revive, not to resist yourself. Solution 2, move smart, awaken your sleeping muscles. Muscles are like children. If you stop talking to them, they go silent. If you stop moving them, they fall asleep. After 50, many people fear exercising, worried about joint pain or falling. But science shows that proper movement is the strongest medicine against muscle loss. I divide movement into 3 simple groups. Tier 1, gentle strength training. No heavy weights. Just stand up and sit down from a chair 10 times each morning. Use resistance bands for your thighs, arms, and calves. Muscles will understand that you still need them. 2. Balance and flexibility. Stand on one leg for 10 seconds on each side. Practice yoga or simple twisting stretches each morning. This connects muscles with the nervous system, reducing fall risk. 3. Moderate cardio. Walk briskly for 30 minutes daily. If possible, add swimming, cycling, or gentle dancing. A strong heart nourishes strong muscles through better blood flow. I remember James 73 once said, "I don't have the strength to exercise." I smiled and said, "That's okay. Just take one extra step today. Your body will thank you tomorrow." 3 months later, he could climb 2 flights of stairs without stopping. Recovery isn't about miracles, it's about consistent, small steps. Solution 3, sleep deeply, the key to muscle regeneration. Have you noticed how after a good night's sleep, your body feels lighter, your mind clearer, and your steps steadier? That's because sleep is the body's natural laboratory. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone GH, which rebuilds muscles, regenerates nerves, and repairs tissue. But if you only sleep 4 to 5 hours or sleep restlessly, your body never completes this process. I once measured hormone levels in 2 groups of the same age. One slept 8 hours a night, the other only 5. The result, those who slept enough had 60% higher levels of muscle recovery hormones. If you struggle with sleep, here are a few tips. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. Or take magnesium or vitamin B12 in the evening to calm your nerves. Listen to soft music or read instead of watching stressful news. And most importantly, don't force sleep, relax, and let it find you. Good sleep isn't just rest, it's nature's way of rejuvenating you. Solution 4, replenish what your body is thirsty for. After 50, even with a good diet, your body often lacks key nutrients. That's because absorption weakens over time. The 5 most common deficiencies I see are vitamin D3, K2, magnesium, B12, and omega-3. Vitamin D3, the sunshine of strength. Beyond bones, D3 activates genes for muscle protein synthesis. Deficiency leads to weak legs, cramps, and slow recovery. I recommend 2,000–4,000 IU of D3 at night when the body rebuilds most actively. Vitamin K2, the guide that sends calcium to the right place. K2 directs calcium into bones instead of joints or arteries. Together, D3 and K2 form a golden duo for strong bones and firm muscles. Magnesium, the fuel for muscle cells. It supports nerve muscle signaling and prevents nighttime cramps. A warm glass of magnesium glycinate before bed can transform your sleep within a week. Vitamin B12, the messenger of energy. It improves communication between brain and muscle, reducing numbness and tremors. Sublingual methylcobalamin absorbs best, take it before bed to repair your nerves overnight. Omega-3, the oil that keeps your body running smoothly. It reduces inflammation, improves blood flow, and enhances muscle elasticity. If you don't eat salmon, take purified fish oil or algae-based omega-3 supplements. I remember John, 66, who suffered nightly leg cramps despite regular workouts. His tests showed severe D3 and magnesium deficiency. After 2 months of supplementation, he said, "I not only sleep better, my legs feel young again." Sometimes the answer isn't more, but the right thing your body truly needs. Solution 5, keep a positive spirit, the muscle medicine you can't buy. In over 30 years of practice, I've learned one truth. 2 people can have the same diagnosis, same treatment, and same exercise, but get completely different results. The difference lies in the mind. The body cannot heal if the soul is tired. Chronic stress releases cortisol, a hormone that breaks down muscle and stores fat. Meanwhile, joy, laughter, and gratitude trigger growth and recovery hormones. I often ask my patients, "What made you smile today?" And sometimes they pause for a long time, because in modern life, we forget to smile at ourselves. I remember Margaret, 70, who fell into depression after losing her husband. She rarely left the house, grew weak, and couldn't sleep. I encouraged her to spend 10 minutes in her garden each morning and write down 3 things she was grateful for each night. 3 months later, she returned with her first smile in years. Her body was stronger, her sleep deeper, and her lab results showed muscle gain. You see, the body truly heals when the soul feels alive. So find one reason to wake up, something you love, someone you cherish, or simply the desire to walk under the morning sun. That spark of purpose is the current that wakes every muscle cell within you. Dear friends, I know after 50, many people feel as if they're slipping away from themselves. The body slows down, reflexes fade, and you sometimes think, "I'm not me anymore." But please remember, every cell in your body is still listening. And once you send a positive signal, it will respond. Eat well, move gently, sleep deeply, restore nutrients, and keep your spirit peaceful. These are not just medical steps, they are ways to return home to yourself. I always tell my patients, aging isn't measured by years, but by how many times you choose to stand up. And if today you choose to stand that first step, no matter how small, is the beginning of a new chapter. In the next part, I'll share proven natural ways to build muscle without protein powders or supplements, methods backed by science and real-life success. Because I truly believe when you care for your body with understanding, your body will answer with youth. Dear friends, after more than 30 years in medicine, I've realized something simple yet profound. True strength isn't about age. It's about how we choose to live each day. I've met people in their 70s with bright eyes and steady steps, and I've also met people in their 50s who already feel tired, sluggish, and fearful with every move. The difference isn't in the number of years on a birth certificate. It lies in their mindset, in how they treat their own body. We can't stop time. None of us can prevent gray hair or wrinkles. But the beautiful thing is we can slow down the aging that happens inside, because every muscle cell in your body has the power to regenerate. It just needs care, nourishment, and activation. You can begin with the smallest things. Add a little more protein to your meal. Weave your body gently in the morning. Go to sleep 30 minutes longer tonight. And most importantly, look in the mirror and tell yourself, I can still be stronger even at 60. I once had a patient, Richard, 66, who had severe leg weakness and relied on a walker. When I first met him, he smiled sadly and said, "Doctor, I think my strong days are behind me." I looked at him and said, "Richard, your strength didn't disappear. It's just asleep inside you." 3 months later, he came back walking on his own, no walker needed. He looked at me, eyes bright with emotion, and said, "Doctor, I can walk again, but more than that, I want to live again." The body can weaken, but the human spirit can change everything. Your body is not against you. It's a mirror of how you treat it. If you move it, it will grow stronger. If you feed it, it will rebuild. If you rest it, it will heal. And if you speak kindly to it, it will grow younger. I've seen hundreds of patients recover not through medicine, but through patience and love for themselves. A 70-year-old woman once told me, "Doctor, I started exercising because I wanted to hold my granddaughter without fear of falling." And that love, not the medicine, was what made her body strong again, little by little every day. So find your reason to be strong. It doesn't have to be grand, just meaningful to you. Maybe it's cooking for yourself, traveling, playing in the park with your grandchildren, or simply watching the sunrise and saying, "I'm still here and I want to live better." If you're watching this video, take it as a sign, a reminder that it's not too late to change. You don't have to wait for tomorrow and you don't have to start big. Just do one thing today better than you did yesterday. Eat one more serving of vegetables or protein-rich fish. Walk 10 more minutes. Go to bed 15 minutes earlier. Or simply smile at your own reflection. That's how you tell every cell in your body, "I'm taking care of you. Be strong with me." When I see people over 60 still cycling, doing yoga, and walking tall, I see something truly beautiful. It's not just physical health, it's pride. Muscles are proof that you never gave up, that you're still fighting for a life that's full, independent, and worth living. Believe me, no one can do that for you. Not your doctor, not medicine, not the gym. Nothing is stronger than your own will to live well. And if you're hearing this right now, place your hand over your heart and whisper to yourself, "I still can. I'm still strong enough. I still deserve a healthy body." Dear friends, your 50s, 60s, or 70s are not the end. They're a new chapter. A chapter where you can live slower, deeper, and appreciate every breath, every step, every peaceful night's sleep. Let each day be a journey of self-care. Eat to nourish your body, not just to fill your stomach. Move to feel free, not to fight age. And love yourself, because this body has carried you through an entire lifetime. Age doesn't take away your strength. It's only when you stop believing in yourself that your strength fades. If today you take even one small step, your body will begin to change. And I promise one day you'll look back and smile. I chose right. I chose to live healthy. Dear friends, if this video helped you understand your body better, share it with someone you love, because sometimes one small reminder can change a life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next videos, where I'll share practical secrets to rebuild muscle and youthful energy after 50. I'm Dr. Mark, and I've always believed strength isn't defined by age, it's defined by choice.